Padayatra before the election, and I spent considerable time in Rayalaseema region. And as all of you know, Rayalaseema is known for mangoes. We are only second to UP. One of the stand that I've taken is we are growing our local variants, which is great. It adds a lot of value, but we should also grow variants that the world requires. So it could be the Japanese varietals, what Europe wants. So we have a clear mission in place. We have picked specific commodities that we want to specialize in, agri-commodities that as a state we want to specialize in. This is part of the Vikasit Andhra Pradesh vision. We're going to back it with research centers. So like a great example of that is mango, dragon fruit, chiku, a banana. Andhra is already very big, we can do a lot more. And with the industry support, of course. Saying that there are also like dates is a big opportunity for us in the Rayalaseema region. So we're looking at specific commodities, going deep, backed with research, giving clear inputs to the farmer and building that out.
Bringing some digital into agri also.
That's the next bit. So that's what brings me to the next bit, which is how do you make agriculture even sustainable? So Mr. Naidu has pioneered the zero budget natural farming. So there are two sides of the equation. One is you have to reduce the cost of inputs so that I can be competitive and sustainable. So that's something that we're also working. And then, of course, technology will play a role, not just from predicting market prices, but also understanding the possibility of any pest and how do I control. We've done this in the past under real-time governance. So we're bringing all that back, all the protocols back to that. With regards to feedback from the grassroots, I think we've always lost an election because of that, not because we didn't do work. And that's why our real-time governance is now being given to me. And in this government, in the real-time governance, one of the major things is also feedback. So we're going to take feedback from industry, feedback from citizens, feedback as a family, and look at things very holistically. So education, healthcare, and we have this model called the P4 model where, we want successful entrepreneurs to actually nurture families, nurture villages. And how do you pull people out of the cycle of poverty? Government is very good spender of public money. But then we need accountability to come in at a greater pace. And that's where I look forward to working with the industry in bringing that and hand-holding. And that's something that we intend to do.
CM, when he addressed the National Council, spoke about the 4 Ps also, involving people. So I think that's
the 4P model.
We have been also propagating to our government saying involve people now.
Well, if you look at it this time when we have the Chief Minister's travels, it's very open, very easy. His program is also very accessible, no barricades. So I think it's been a huge cultural shift compared to the last 5 years. But we are marching ahead in that, hopefully in the right direction.
All the best.
Thank you. So next I'd like to request Mr. Anil Epur to.
Having worked with the Honorable Chief Minister for many, many years, in the late 90s and early 2000s, I know you'll be very successful in what you're planning to do, and I'm glad to hear from what you have mentioned. But just a couple of thoughts. One on, don't look at only India as for the models and all this. Please look at the world as to where are the successful models working there. I just mentioned to the Chief Secretary about the skilling thing there, how the German, Swiss, Austrian model of skilling is the right model for India. That is one. Second one, when you're talking about in agriculture and please look at the emerging trends. We're talking about mangoes and all this. This is the past. What are the new fruits that come? You talked about dragon fruit. That's the fruit. But there are a lot of things coming up like that. Yeah. So if somebody can go and see the supermarkets in the West, and you know what are the fruits coming there. And Rayalaseema is the ideal horticultural place. Exactly. The dry weather makes perfect sweet fruit. So that could be the great. Same thing with aquaculture. We are not adding value to aquaculture. We are only giving the raw material out of the ponds. There's a huge scope to add value, especially accelerated freeze drying, etc., which can increase the returns to the farmers dramatically. So if we can look at what's happening in the world, and we took the Honorable Chief Minister on delegations to the US, UK, Malaysia, Singapore, and all this. And everywhere he went there, the people there were stunned by the questions he used to ask about what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it. I'm sure he'll do that, but I think it's time for you people to start going abroad, especially to these leading countries, to understand what they're doing, why they have gone there, and where can Andhra benefit from those trips. I just commend it to you and wish you all the very best.
If you can just quickly answer that. If you look at it, mango is still mango. And the advantage is now you looked at Japanese varietals. So my question is, why can't we grow those? So I think I'm looking at it end to end. And I was very infatuated with the idea that we can actually grow for the world. And this is something that I've been talking about in my entire Padayatra, because I interacted with a lot of farmers. Dates might seem trivial, but the opportunity is amazing. So as you rightly said, it's not just about supplying for India, but can I become a global supplier, in the top 10, major commodities. But commodity as a commodity, like mango is a mango. But then can I do local processing? And I've looked at how Thailand has done that better. Creating chocolates in a very micro scale. The mango toffees of some, not chocolates, or toffees. It's very easy. So we are actually looking at that, and we would love to actually engage with the industry on this, because you have a better view on things, and you're subject matter experts and domain experts. So I understand dairy very well, because I worked in the dairy business. I understand it very well, but I don't necessarily understand chili business well. So I actually look forward to interacting with the industry to actually drive policy, give guidance, and actually look at what are the best practices that are happening across the world and learn from it.
There used to be a gentleman who was the Dean of Horticulture at Tirupati called Dr. Ramarao. Then he went to work for Eenadu in that paper. He, as chief of at Tirupati, he was asked to send mango saplings to Israel and to Europe. So he said, why should we send our materials or send him the worst varieties we have here? So he sent the one that had no market in India, he sent it there. But they were so smart that they took their varieties and they convinced the consumers in Europe that that was the actual mango and not the ones coming out of India.
It's all about, okay.
Thank you.
Suresh?
Lokesh, thank you for being here. I know how Saturdays are very important for you with your son, but thank you for being here. So I had one thing, Lokesh, and I know I've worked with your father when I was a chair last time and all that, and we did a lot of activity, and everything. So I think I might be coming across as a little, I don't know, some people might be upset, but then I think certain things we have to look at, we are coming from a certain legacy, certain way of working and all that, right? Because I know how much last time, what CM wanted to done didn't happen, right? And I think we need to start focusing on that, the administration layer in between, and how their priorities and how their style of working is the one that is harming us, right? See, as businessmen, we will always be wanting, it is our nature, and you are one too, so it's our nature to push the envelope, right? And we'll be asking a lot of time, and I agree, it's not always possible. But I think CII can play a moderating role in that and support you in wherever that is. But I think right now, we have no option, and we are very glad that we can forget last 5 years, right? So I think we don't need to harp on that. But we don't expect, with you, we expect the other side, right? So maybe it's right, wrong, but that's what it is. So I think that is one of the points I wanted to make, Lokesh, is that I think we need to work on that the interaction becomes, it doesn't mean you have